Hi, this is Gloria with stampwithgloria.com. Today I'm going to continue with my embossing series. This will be the number 3 video in the series. I'm going to show you how to do stained glass using the embossing powders. The stamp set that we're going to use was out of our Christmas supplement. It's called Joyful Christmas. When you're doing a stained glass technique, you want to use an image that has strong lines and a lot of open spaces so that it'll look like stained glass once we get done with it. I'm going to take our clear sheets, our clear window sheets that we sell in the catalog, and we're going to start out with the embossing powder. We're going to emboss the poinsettia on the clear sheets with the black embossing powder, which if you've watched my first couple of videos, you know embossing powder in black is an opaque powder. I'm going to just take my little Stampin' Buddy, and remember I said this has silica sand in it, so what it does is it provides a texture to stamp on. And then we're going to take our Versamark pad, and I'm going to ink that up, ink the poinsettia up here. And we'll just plop that right on the clear window sheet. And then I'm going to show you, I'm going to actually emboss the entire image. I know it takes a little time in a video, and I do have the finished card already, but sometimes it's nicer to see you actually go through the whole process. I know when I teach this in a class, a lot of people go, oh my gosh, you can't emboss on clear paper. What's going to happen is the paper is going to shrink and pucker, and you're not going to get a nice image, but actually we will get a pretty good image. So I've got the poinsettia on here. I had used this little guy here. There's still some little scragglies on there, but that's okay. I'm going to grab my embossing gun and we'll heat this up. Now, as long as you move the embossing gun over and around the image, you're going to be fine. You're not going to pucker the plastic at all, the window sheet. And then I can see it's starting to catch and melt here. So you want to just keep moving the embossing gun around. Good. On stained glass images, they're either black or gray, depending on what kind of solder and flux that they put on to the image. Long time ago, in another time and place, I did do some stained glass work, but I did it for craft fairs, and I basically did window catchers or sun catchers instead of like an entire stained glass window. It was a lot of fun, but it was when I was in high school, and I haven't done it in years. So I do know what it's supposed to look like, and so I really like this technique because it really does simulate a stained glass look. Now I've got our silicone pad that we use, you know, when we're gluing something down. We don't want it to stick to other parts of the image. The reason I put it down is because the embossing powder is still warm on the window sheet, and if you put it directly to paper, sometimes you're going to have problems with it sticking to the paper as you pounce the color on, and you don't want that to happen. So you're going to just put it on your silicone pad. Then I want a couple of colors in this stained glass picture. We're going to pounce on some yellow here, and you can be generous with your color because I'm going to cover it with a darker color. Then we're going to go to strawberry slush. So I'm going to pounce the inside leaves with strawberry slush, get them nice and dark. I'm using daubers. We sell these in the catalog as well. Remember, you can go to my website anytime, stampwithgloria.com, and pick up any of these items that I'm working with right now. Okay, so then we're going to go to raspberry ripple. I like a darker color on my images. I do like the dark poinsettias. I know they've come out with so many colors now, the white and the light pink, and I think I even saw like a light green this year. I was like, wow, that's pretty awesome. But the traditional dark poinsettia is my favorite, so I do like to get it nice and dark on the end here. Okay, so now we've got this nice looking reverse kind of color. I don't know if you can see with the camera, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the silicone pad just so that you can see the real brilliant color here. And then we're going to put clear embossing powder on. I've seen different stained glass techniques on the websites, and one stained glass technique is where you emboss on vellum and then you color behind it. I'd call that more a shadowing technique instead of a stained glass technique, but I guess it's all in the eye of the beholder. But the reason I put the clear on is because of course our pads are a little bit more juicy. They're not going to dry on the plastic, and I need to set that color somehow, so we put the clear on, and we're going to set that color by embossing the clear up. And one thing I should add is let's use the silicone pad again. As this heats up from the reverse side, it might again stick to your paper, so you want to use that silicone pad underneath. Okay, so we're getting it all nice and pretty looking. I don't know if you've watched my videos before, but I'm one of the originals. I'm one of the original Stampin' Up! Demonstrators that started for Stampin' Up! Years and years ago. I've been with them 23 years. And so I've learned a lot of techniques throughout the years, and my goal is to put as many techniques out there as I possibly can. Now I use the two pinks here, and it'll show up more on the paper when I show you the finished card, but I use two greens here too. Because stained glass reflects light, you want lights and darks in your colors. If you do one solid color, it's very rare that glass will reflect just one solid color. But you can see, I don't know if you can see if I tip this to the camera a little bit, you can see that it kind of gives the texture of glass too. The colored glasses to do stained glass are never flat and clear. They've got texture to it, waves to it. So it's just a very beautiful look. And so my tip to you is always use more than one color in whatever kind of stained glass thing that you're going to do. I've already done the leaves. I've already finished a card so that we don't waste time. And here's the card on our silver foil paper. So you can see it's very beautiful. If you wanted to technically call this a stained glass card, you could actually tuck this poinsettia up against the edge, and the silver could be a reflection like a window, and cut off pieces so that it looks like you are a real stained glass artist and you just, did the corner of a window. I decided to do it like this because I want to put some sort of saying on here someday, but I thought it turned out pretty beautifully. And stick with me, I've got more videos coming up. I hope you like this one. As always, go to stampwithgloria.com and you will get all of the supplies, and you can purchase right off of my website as well. Thank you. Have a great day.